Welcome to Trump Watch. I'm Nana Akua for GBN Originals.
I was saved by God to make America great again.
The last 48 hours in Donald Trump's America have been a whirlwind. Our favourite orange-hued commander-in-chief has been busier than a bee, and I'm here to tell you all about it. So Trump's latest dance move. Let's start with the big news that got everyone's knickers in a twist. Trump's new fair and reciprocal plan of trade. Sounds lovely, doesn't it? Like a romantic dinner date, but for international commerce. Donald Trump's decided that if you can't beat them, match them. He's ordering a fresh batch of reciprocal tariffs, promising to charge other countries exactly what they charge the US. No more, no less. It's like he's playing a global game, as Simon says, but with trade policies. What's not to love? It will make trading between the US a zero-sum game. If you don't want to pay a tariff, then don't charge one. In the end, I suspect that's exactly what will happen. Now, some might say this is like bringing a nuclear warhead to a knife fight, but Donald Trump has never been one for subtlety. He's aiming to shrink the pesky 1.2 trillion trade deficit faster than you can say make America great again. Speaking of making things great, Trump has been cozying up to India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now, these two are so chummy, they've coined a new catchphrase, the mega spirit. That's right, folks. Forget MAGA. We're going mega now. Trump's promised to boost military exports to India by making billions of dollars because nothing says friendship like selling your pal a bunch of shiny new weapons. Modi's thrilled, of course. He's practically giddy at the thought of India and the US becoming great again together. It's like a geopolitical buddy comedy, but with nuclear weapons. I wonder if someone could have a word with Keir Starmer in the UK and perhaps ask him to cancel all foreign aid to India. It doesn't look like they need it. I think the UK is in way more trouble where finances are concerned. The economy is headed up by a chancellor who exaggerated on her CV, had a parliamentary credit card suspended and claimed back gifts as costs.
Have you been getting a load of spam in your email recently? What about random calls? It's really annoying, isn't it? Data brokers are out there collecting your personal information. Anything from your email, your full name, your address, and even your political affiliation. Cyber criminals can even use AI to mimic the voices of friends and family to trick people into sending them money. And it gets even worse. People out there are getting huge loans taken out in their names without even knowing about it. But don't worry, because the sponsor of this video, Incogni, can help. They reach out to the data brokers on your behalf and request that your information is removed from their databases. Incogni continues to make sure that your data is removed automatically from the internet via repeated removal requests. So, how can you get started? Well, step 1, hit the link in the description, create an Incogni account and tell us whose data you'd like removed. Step 2, grant Incogni the right to work on your behalf. Step 3, sit back, relax and watch Incogni work. They will update consistently so you know when your data has been removed. Incogni is risk-free for 30 days, so you can try it for yourself and you'll get a free refund if the service isn't for you. So take back your personal data today with Incogni. Use the code GBNews using the link in the description below and you'll get 60% off an annual payment plan.
Last night, Sir Keir Starmer was busy sucking up to Donald Trump in a phone call where they apparently talked about Ukraine. Trump is finding out that after speaking with Putin ahead of his call to President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine, that his promise to end the war in 24 hours was a bit of a long shot. But hey, at least everyone's talking. And Hamas have re-agreed to return all the hostages by Saturday after Trump's Riviera of the Middle East speech was not received as well as he'd hoped.
We'll take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. And I don't want to be cute, I don't want to be a wise guy, but the Riviera of the Middle East, this could be something that could be so bad, this could be so magnificent.
Not sure how well he thought that would go. Didn't really sound like the people of Gaza would have been allowed to return, but they weren't happy with Gaza in the first place, so I take his point. Not content with shaking things up domestically, Donald Trump decided to weigh in on the Gaza situation. He's called on Israel to revoke its ceasefire agreement and suggested that if Hamas doesn't return all hostages by noon on Saturday, chaos should ensue. It's like he's treating international diplomacy like a game of chicken. I half expect him to follow up with double dare you, no take-backs. In another move that's raised more eyebrows than a Botox convention, Donald Trump's managed to get Robert F. Kennedy Jr. confirmed as health secretary. Yes, you heard that right. The man who is somewhat of a vaccine skeptic, to put it mildly, will be heading up the nation's health. It's a bit like putting a fox in charge of the hen house, isn't it? But Trump's never been one to shy away from controversy. He probably sees this as killing two birds with one stone. He gets a health secretary and a ready-made scandal all in one neat package. Efficiency at its finest. Trump's been trying to shut down the US Agency for International Development, but it seems that the agency's got more lives than a cat. A federal judge has extended the stay on Trump's efforts to dismantle US aid for another week. It's like a game of bureaucratic whack-a-mole. Trump tries to shut it down, the courts pop up and say, not so fast. I half expect US aid staff running around the White House lawn, dodging Donald Trump's golf balls as he tries to take aim for the Oval Office window. In other news, Donald Trump's grand plan to shrink the federal workforce hit a snag when a judge extended the suspension on the deadline for federal employees to agree to buyouts. It seems the courts aren't too keen on Trump's "you can't fire me, I quit" approach to government downsizing. This must be frustrating for Trump. He's probably wondering why he can't run the government like one of his businesses. You're fired, remember that one? Doesn't quite have the same ring to it when the courts keep saying, actually, you're not. Speaking of courts, Trump's been about as happy with the judiciary as a cat in a bathtub, with lawsuits piling up faster than his Truth Social posts. He's been vocal about his discontent with the legal system. It's like he's playing a game of legal whack-a-mole. Every time he tries to push through a policy, up pops a judge with an injunction. I'm starting to think that Trump's ideal judicial system would consist of the magic 8-ball with only yes answers. In a move that's about as surprising as finding sand at the beach, Trump has dismissed the head of the Office of Government Ethics because nothing says drain the swamp like getting rid of the person in charge of the government ethics, right? In another twist, Trump's Justice Department have initiated steps to dismiss the corruption case against New York Mayor Eric. It's like Trump's playing a real-life game of Monopoly, handing out get-out-of-jail-free cards to select players. One can't help but wonder what's next. Will Donald Trump start pardoning parking tickets, overturning jaywalking convictions? The possibilities are endless. In conclusion, as we wrap up with the edition of Trump Watch, one thing's clear: life in Trump's America is never dull. From trade wars to romances with foreign leaders, from controversial appointments to legal battles, Donald Trump continues to keep us on our toes. It's like we're all living in the world's most unpredictable reality show where the rules change daily and the plot twists come faster than you can say, but that's Trump for you. Always keeping up guessing, always stirring the pot, and always making headlines. So until next time, this is Akua reminding you to keep your eyes on the news and your sense of humour intact, because in Trump's America, you never know what's coming next, but you can bet it'll be entertaining.